My name's David Owen. I direct the Bristol Palestine Film Festival, which is an annual event. Normally takes place in December. What we do is we pick and select Palestinian films that we hope will discuss Palestinian culture, the conflict, and various other things with audiences like yourself. I guess the final bit of waffle is I really love this film, and it's actually unique in two distinct ways right now. So it's from a Palestinian filmmaking perspective, it takes Palestinian filmmaking to another level. You know, it's an industry which has a lot of barriers against it, and this film is taking the filmmaking to a new level within Palestine, and there's a lot of people that are seeing it for that reason. And at the same time, the hard side about this film is you'll see right at the beginning about the funding. There's been a big backstory. Suha, the director, she's Palestinian, but she's an Israeli citizen. 20% of Israeli citizens are Palestinian, and there's been a big backstory about this film and the country of origin around this film. So it's entered into film festivals internationally as a Palestinian film. That is Suha's identity, as she feels right. But because of the funding, there was a big fallout, a big argument, which we'll find. But essentially, it ended up being labelled as stateless film. So she didn't want to label it as an Israeli production because she herself feels as Palestinian, even though she's also got citizenship of Israel. And this has led to a change in the funding law within the Israeli Film Council, which will mean that any other films that come to this festival in the future will need to be labelled Israeli films. So it's started to raise some real big questions in Israeli society about minority groups and Palestinian rights and cultural identity and all of those kinds of things. And so some of that will come out in the Q&A. And other than that, just enjoy a really beautiful film. Thank you very much. Hello. Welcome to Bristol, Suha. So to begin with, where could you share a bit what the inspiration for this story was and why you decided to make this film?
Before I became a filmmaker, I used to be a journalist, especially when Oslo Agreement signs. Then I worked in the West Bank as a journalist. And I sent by the newspaper that I work for to do a profile of the city in peace. A city with a lot of hope that Oslo will bring a real peace. And in Ramallah, it was really a lot of hope for the Palestinians. So they start to build a huge building, new streets, open restaurants and hotels. And I met the mayor of Ramallah, and he said that I should be in Ramallah Hotel. I thought that it's a new hotel that they built. And I found amazing boutique hotel in the center of the city, surrounding by a huge wall and huge big trees that hide him from the main street. And this hotel, it was, I think, in the beginning, I don't remember when they built it, but it's at least 100 and something years there. It's 2 floors. It's a boutique. And it was run by a lady. Her story almost similar to the ladies that I wrote. She's single, living there alone, very pretty. And she closed it when Israel occupied the West Bank in '67. And she never left it. She stuck there by time. And this hotel, the Palestinian used to call it Little Paris because it was a scene in the Middle East, not only in Ramallah. Omar al-Sharif, the famous actress, used to come to his premiere in Ramallah and to stay in this hotel. And this lady, she kept the photos of Omar al-Sharif and all these stars who came to stay in the hotel. Also, the King Hussein, the King of Jordan, used to come for weekends, only for weekends. And this lady, she used to bring a musical group and dancing group, especially from Italy and Spain. And families from Palestinian from inside Israel, or they used also to come to their honeymoons and spend in this hotel. So it was a big scene in the Middle East, and then the occupation happened, and all this life died. And this lady, her dream also died, so she shut herself inside the hotel, and she never left it. And she died before 2 years, when I almost shot my film, 2 months before I shot my movie. And she have the same story. She have a guardian, a Muslim from a village, who bring her food and take care for the hotel, that she kept all the furniture, but she covered everything with white sheets, and all the hotel. It's a lot of memories of photos of dead people in the walls, and a lot of candles. So all this image that somebody so traumatic from the occupation and shot himself for 20 and something years inside a place, it shocked me. It's so strong, this image, and this is why I wrote it.
Thank you. So there is time for your questions as well. I just sort of asked the first two while you think and build up the courage. So that's the first question of mine. So my second question is, the characters are phenomenal. You know, I watched it for the first time on big screen yesterday, and they really stayed with me, and I'm torn about them all. You know, I sort of feel uncomfortable about that house, and you know, I feel really bad for, is it Badia?
Badia, yeah. Badia, the meaning is gorgeous. This is the real translation of the name, yeah.
So tell us about these characters. We've talked a bit about love and hate, and whether you can hate a character that you've created. And
this lady, her name was Aida Audi, this lady from the hotel, and she reminded me the third sister. There's something in her very sensitive and sweet and broken. So I built the third sister, Antoinette, like her. Mm-hmm. The second one, I met in Beit Lahem, another lady, but she's drunk. She's totally drunk. She also shot herself inside the villa, and she have a maid, Philippine maid, that living with her, and her brother living in the USA, and they're sending her money because not working. But I met her 11 in the morning, and she was totally drunk. So I don't want to build a drunk character, so I build it as a borderline, the second one. Okay? So it's a drunk character. It's a little bit tricky in cinema, yeah? And in my life, I met a lot of these kind of characters who used to be class, and they lost everything but not the dignity. And this is the problem with the bourgeois, Palestinian bourgeois, who stuck in the West Bank. There's a lot of them who left, or they forced to leave, and they became refugees, especially in the USA and Canada. When I premiered it in Toronto, a lot of them, they came to watch the film. And they used to be bourgeois, and you can see that. And they couldn't stop crying. It was a very moving moment, because everybody told me, it's my aunt, it's me, it's my mom. It reminded him the life that they had. So I think I choose the old one. It was more tricky because I want to build, I'm not religious, but my film about Christian. And I believe that all of you, or most of you, are Christian. So I want to build this triangle, this triangle about hate, this kind of relationship that there is a love and hate. They couldn't leave each other, but they couldn't live with each other. So there is a mask in everybody there in this house, but not the young lady, at least the three sisters. So I built that all the time. Everything is perfect, but when they are alone, I give these moments. You feel that everybody, she have their obsession or their weakness, that she, only when she's alone, she can be herself, but not behind the sisters, not behind the others. So it's some kind of play in somehow. And this is the way that I also choose to shoot it, like a little bit play in somehow. Mm.
So another question, as you all think of your questions. Oh, we have one at the back.
You know, I wanted to, because the dresses are very nice, the dresses they are wearing, And I wanted to ask you, where did you find them? They are from the 70s or
60s.
the 60s.
Yeah, I have amazing costume designer. He's Palestinian from East Jerusalem, and he studied fashion in Paris, and he's working in movies. So Hamada, his name, Hamada did everything. His amazing clothes, and he did a long research about periods, because the film took place in 2001 in the second Intifada, but I choose from the beginning to build all the first act to cheat you, that you think it's a period piece, and then when they get out, you understand that the film takes place in 2000 and something, okay, in the second Intifada. So it's a Palestinian amazing designer, did everything.
Alice, yeah.
It was absolutely stunning, the film, so thank you. It was amazing to see it, really amazing.
Thank you.
And maybe it's early in the evening to turn the subject to the reaction, the story about the Israeli funding and this issues that David mentioned in the beginning. So if it's too early, then maybe later. But I would be really fascinated to hear how that has been, some of how that has been for you, really, the fallout and the.
No, it's not early. Okay, what I need to explain that I found when I did this film, I'm traveling a lot with this movie, that almost nobody knew that there is 1.5 million Palestinians living inside Israel and have a citizenship. Everybody was shocked, especially in the USA. And another thing, they don't know that there is a Christian Palestinian or a bourgeois. So it's a new subject for a lot of people around the world. I'm part of this 1.5 million that we didn't left or forced to leave. So our parents still in the villages and our grandfathers. And I grew up in the Galilee near the Lebanese border, but I'm living in Haifa city. We are paying taxes to Israel, like every citizen who are living in a country. And we are 15% from the population in Israel. We deserve to get, for culture, 15% from our taxes that we pay, but we get less than 1% as Arab, okay? So we are allowed, if you have Israeli passport, to submit to the Israeli funds and to get money. For this movie, I decided from the beginning, I don't want Israeli money. It takes place in Ramallah, it's a Palestinian, but I couldn't find in Europe and in England, Germany and France, and then in the Arab world. So in the end, I got these funds, and I submitted to Venice. We opened in Venice, and in Venice, they select the movie, and it was Gaza War. When they announced about which films they selected, and it was in a press conference that they select Villa Touma as Palestinian film. And it was a war against Gaza, and it opened another war against my movie and against me as Suha, as filmmaker. Then the Ministry of Culture, that now she left the politician, and everybody is happy, Limor Livnat. She's in the Likud party. She was against this movie, and she asked me to return the money back. It's that she said that I steal the Israeli government money. It's a fraud, what I did. Okay, and then it was a huge, big 3 months of clash. I was in the media every day, every single day, in the TV, in newspaper, and all the radios, with the same story, that Suha steal the Israeli money government. And then there is a lot of websites of Zionist activists. They stole my photos from my Facebook, so I closed for Facebook for 3 months, and my photos were everywhere. Like I wanted, the woman that steal the Israeli money government. Okay, something like this. It was a huge, big, really attack. It was a target. It's a political target. But I found a lot of support from some Israeli colleagues that they signed a petition against what's happened to me. And internationally also I get a lot of support, and from my colleagues, the Palestinian. And we get to Venice. In Venice, me and 4 of these amazing ladies, we arrived there, and we were like a rock stars, 100 of journalists waiting for us there with this story against Israel. And they tried to sue me, but they couldn't find anything in the contract said that I need to present my film as Israeli film. In the contract said that I need to give logos and the credits for the funds that I take. And this is exactly what I did, as you saw the movie in the beginning and in the end. So this lady, she gave up. But I have another problem now with the Ministry of Business. Bennett, the famous racist sutler, that I get a little bit from this fund. And now he wants to sue me, but I believe that I will win the court because nothing in my contract. But the main problem now is not me, is my colleagues. They changed the law in Israel after my story because they couldn't find anything in the contract. So now every Palestinian director, Palestinian who are living inside Israel, yeah? Because Palestinians from the West Bank and Gaza, they couldn't apply. They are not citizens. If he wants to get money from the fund, he needs to sign that. In every place in the world, he needs to stand and he said, my name is blah, blah, my ID number, and I'm Israeli and my film is Israeli. So it's some kind to tell you don't apply. We don't want Arab to get this fund. This is the thing now. And we are trying to fight this law. Now there is a new election next week in Israel. And this is the first time that all the Arab parties, they are together. We hope that we will get a lot of members, then we will be more strong. And we did a lot of, me and my colleagues inside Israel, the Palestinian, we did a lot of meetings to try how we are going to fight this. So we wrote like a petition. After the election, we are going to send it to all the film festivals around the world and the funds. And we talk with the head of this Arab Knesset party that he's also going to fight inside the Israeli government for this. I hope so that we will succeed, because the thing that first movie, nobody in the world will give you money to fund it. You need to come from your region, from your country, and we are living in Israel, so we need this money at least for first movie, and it's tricky.
Yeah, and we were saying earlier that a lot of the well-known international Palestinian directors are from your city.
Yes, not from my city, but they are Palestinian Israeli. Yeah. We talk about it today.
Yeah, Nazareth and
Nazareth, especially from Nazareth. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Please.
Can you explain what they objected to in the film?
What's
Can
your
you explain what they objected to?
Who?
The Israelis objected.
Objected that I called it a Palestinian film.
They didn't object to the content.
No. They haven't a problem with the content because they don't see it as listen, nobody watched the film in Israel, but in all the newspaper and the media, they said it's anti-Israeli film, it's Palestinian propaganda, without seeing any frame. 3 months, and I didn't finish it. I finished it 2 days before Venice. They were fighting a movie, unfinished movie. You can imagine? And they fight because I said it's Palestinian, and Palestinians don't want to hear this word, Palestinian. This is all the problem. Nobody watch it. And then I show it in Israel. They jump, and it's 700 people can be in the hall. In 2 days, they sold everything. Everybody, and a lot of settlers came. And it became, we were totally scared. And the head of the film festival, she bring protection, bodyguards, because she thought that, and a lot of cameras. You need to see how many cameras. The American, the Israeli TV, a lot of TVs, they thought that it will be a huge big fight. And people sit there and they don't know how to deal with that. And they get out, for what all this problem? And I said, you are asking me? Because they were shocked. The film is so human and there is nothing to deal with Israel in somehow. And it was a lot of propaganda that it's anti-Israeli film. It's a Palestinian propaganda.
Could you wait for the microphone, please?
Yeah, I release it in Israel? No, because they're fighting that. No TV want to show it, no cinema want to take it in Israel. Of course, it's some kind of punishment. But I'm doing a self-distribution. I'm showing it in the Arab cities and villages. And today we bought a projector from here. Because yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to halls churches, mosques, if they have a hall, yeah, more than 100 people, schools, stadium, and I show it everywhere, and the Arabs, they love it. But in Israel itself, no.
Some Israelis must love it as well, you know.
They came to the film festival, I think, they will love it. If they will saw it, also the racist people, they will love it. Yeah, but the problem, there is something anti. They don't want really to know what's happening. Like the world, they don't want to know what's happening in the other side. They're not interested. Not only in this film, most of the films that speak Arabic, okay, they a huge big failure in Israel. Also, if a Jewish or Israeli director did it, it's a big failure. Nobody want to know. Few people, only the left people, or people who really love cinema.
Okay, Chris?
Thank you for the film, which I enjoyed very much indeed. Can you say something about any directors who have influenced you? Because I was rather struck. I thought of Bergman and Cries and Whispers at the beginning, the kind of claustrophobic intensity of being operating in a small interior space.
Thank you. Yeah, everybody thought it's a little bit Bergman. People think it's a little bit Lorca. A lot of things, yeah. To be honest, it was very challenging for me to do first film in a closed place. I believe that you need to be with a lot of courage to do that as director, especially first film. It's more easy to do with 100 characters outside, because if you are weak here or you have a character weak, you can cover it in visuals with other characters. But to shut yourself, like the story, inside the house, with these 4 characters and to build the humor and the drama and the tension, it wasn't easy. But this is the style that, in this case, because it's the story itself. It's about people who are living in total denial for years and years and years, and they couldn't deal with the new reality of the occupation. So they shut themselves. So this is claustrophobic, and the colors we choose and the light and all this, when we open the window or not opening the window, we discuss it. I discussed it with my crew for a long time, and it wasn't easy because also we shot in the winter and everybody gets sick. It's enough that one is sick and we are in the same room, everybody gets sick.
Thank you. So I was going to ask you about some of the symbolism and the metaphors in the film, and particularly this villa. And also, I want to ask you about this final scene.
Okay.
And, you know, we were talking yesterday and, you said something. So could you talk us through it? Like, what's the final sort of message of the film?
Yeah, I saw all the film as a huge, big metaphor about the situation in Palestine. The peace process is stuck, is frozen like the time, which is frozen here in the story. And it's not a war, it's not a peace, it's a little bit war, and then stop it, and then again war, but it's occupation. And here I also, I built an interior occupation of these ladies in somehow. And I use also the wall surrounding the villa as symbolic to the wall who are surrounding the West Bank. I choose not to show the house full shot to the house and where is the location exactly. We know that it's in Ramallah, yeah, but we don't know. We didn't see any neighborhood there, no neighbors, nothing, yeah. So it was a decision that I take, like all Ramallah isolated, alone, and you couldn't cross from city to city without finding checkpoint. So all the movie is symbolic, but I want a little bit hope. For me, also, Badia, the young lady, she's presenting the present. And the present of the Palestinian, for me at least, this is from my point of view, is impossible. Our present is totally impossible, yeah? So I decided to kill her, to leave the future, the new baby. She's symbolic of the future. And to change a little bit, this dynamic between the 3 sisters. So the warm one or the good one, now she's the leader of the house. So we know that the future of the new baby will be much better than the life that the mother get there.
So I don't know if anyone saw that.
It's a little bit hope, yeah.
The youngest was sat at the head of the table.
Yeah.
You're all much smarter than me. Yeah, there's a question at the back. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
I think it's on.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you for the film. It's absolutely stunning. I really loved it, and I did wonder if it was filmed in a small space, because I just felt it felt really, really real. Like, for me, I like a film to make me cry or laugh, or I have to feel that it's real. So I like the continuity. I like the if continuity goes wrong, even if a film's absolutely brilliant in all respects, I hate the film, but with your film, that never happened. So little things like that are really important for me, and it felt really real and really beautiful. One of the things about that final scene that was really beautiful for me was when I realised it was the baby that had survived, I just thought, oh my goodness. And then I thought, and then that the other sister, that Antoinette, was at the head of the table. I just thought, oh, thank goodness for that, because the other two sisters would have treated that baby. How they treated Badia was how they would have treated their own daughter, and it was frightening.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I just thought it was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Although I have to make a complaint about the Palestinian films, they all make me cry.
But this one, no.
It did make me cry,
Oh.
but,
Yeah,
but
because-
because of the sadness and the some cruelty. It was very funny as well, and they're very good in a lot of other ways. But
Yeah.
and that's why one of the reasons why I think film's really important is how it touches people and how it can unify people, as well as demonstrating difficulties and being very subtle in a lot of ways as well. So yeah, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think there's a thank you for Basil in that as well. The
Yeah.
continuity.
Yeah, if you have more or comments, also I will be happy to hear if you have anything to ask or to add.
Okay, how long have we got?
Yeah, we have
There
time.
we go. Yeah. we've
Yes,
got
please.
5 minutes.
Hello, thank you very much for that movie. I just wanted to ask, could you maybe talk to us a bit more about like the image of the women in this movie? Did you want to maybe denounce the conservatism, or did you want to give a special message?
You're French from your accent.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I think bourgeois people everywhere almost the same. I saw a lot of British movies or series about this class, and they saw French and they saw Irish. They almost have the same behave, a lot of dignity, and you don't understand why, to be honest. Yeah, you don't know why. It's ego more than dignity. Yeah, and they think that they're better. This is the problem. That they think they're better than the others. In this movie, there is a lot of criticism about bourgeois and Christian bourgeois, especially how they behave to Muslims, that they're less, how they behave to poor people, that they're less, and they're looking for a family, big names, yeah, a family names, and somehow. So they almost, and I try to do in the same time to bring the humanity back to the Palestinian character, because we also talk about it. The problem that in Europe, you saw us, the Palestinian, or terrorists or victims, nothing in the middle. In Palestine, we saw ourselves or heroes or victims, not terrorists, yeah? And we lost the humanity, we lost the Palestinian character. And between this hero and victim, there is a man or a woman. And it's a complex, because we have great things and we have bad things, everybody from us, yeah? And this is what I try to do here, to bring a life, a real life, not only the occupation and the wall. And I talk about all these issues, but it wasn't in the front, in your face, yeah? It was in the background, it was in the soundtrack. I choose to talk about regular, yeah? It's not regular because what's happening to this family because of the occupation. It's the influence of the occupation, yeah? But I choose to talk about relationship and somehow dynamic between people and somehow. And yes, they are like this. They have great things and they have bad things. I love 4 of them. I wrote and I direct 4 of them with a lot of love, because also if I'm a little bit mad or upset about one of them, I understand her motivation. 4 of them, they are victims. Also the old one, the old sister, she left her fiancé to grow up, to help this family, yeah? And the second one, she have a lot of mental problems. She's a little bit borderline, so I can forgive her and somehow. So I have a lot of understanding for 4 of them.
So, so moving on as well. I mean, just to do a bit of, we're running out of time. But on Sunday the 22nd, these people can come and see some more Palestinian films.
Yes,
and
do that, please.
There's Elia
Suleiman, amazing, stunning movie.
Yeah, and the other one, Return to Haifa. So
yeah.
These
it's an old one.
Yeah, you wouldn't recommend seeing it, no?
No, I recommend every Palestinian film, but Elia Suleiman is one of the best Palestinian directors.
So we'll have sort of a 15-minute break to get some tea, coffees, and then there's a table reserved. It's just a small table. It would be amazing to see all of you sat round it. I'm not quite sure how that would happen. But we'll be there and we'll have a sort of 40-minute more informal conversation.
Thank you for coming.
With Suha.
Really, thank you.
Thank you. And can I thank Suha as well?
Thank you, David, for amazing experience that I have here.
You're in love with
You
Bristol,
are amazing. Really, you're amazing by yourself. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you.